Hey everybody, welcome back to another ZipDeal Conversation. You know, this is where we jump into the deep end of the pool on tools and trends and tactics that help dealers maximize opportunities. Today, we're going to get real about one of the biggest challenges dealers face right now, and that's staffing their sales teams. This has been actually an issue for many years, and it continues to be that way. So I think it will probably be refreshing for the audience listening and or watching to this content to hear a little bit about how they can make improvements here. Whether you have a heavy turnover rate, which many dealers do, especially in the sales roles, training gaps, just burnout, the reality is that your team is stretched thin. We're not telling you something you don't know already right there. But your customer experience can't afford to be, and we definitely know that as well. This is where ZipDeal comes in, and I always love having these conversations with the team over there. Today, well, I think it's my favorite ZipDeal person. Okay, it really is, but don't tell Steve and Ryan and Danny. But joining me today, this conversation, it's just me and Marlo Mason. You know, she's the National Director of Client Success at ZipDeal, and she's going to help break down this how ZipDeal helps dealers protect their profits and their reputation, no matter who's on the floor and no matter how busy you are. So let's talk about consistency and automation and the moments in the sales process where real money and loyalty is made. If you've ever wished you could personally walk every customer through the perfect presentation, you're going to love this one. So let's get into it. Marlo, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I appreciate all of that, Sean. It's always a pleasure.
Well, it is, and I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm what you see is what you get kind of guy, and I really like talking about ZipDeal. I put myself in the seat of a dealership, and I think this makes a lot of sense. And I can't say that about a lot of the things that get offered up to dealers. I'd love to start in the area of sales staffing, um, around, kind of expectations. There's a lot of things that dealers, I think, have maybe started to take for granted just because of so many years of it's been the same thing and nobody has really good solutions. So, do you think that when dealers are thinking about improving here as we close out 25 into 26, that they should be preparing for maybe more disruption, or what might be their expectations, or should they be for sales staffing going into this next year?
Absolutely. Definitely, it's not showing any trends for the next 10 years that the shortage of skilled staffing is going to improve. So it has been a long-term issue and challenge for dealers. The turnover, like you mentioned, the training, just the whole hiring process is really a strain on the dealership team, and it's not, looking to go anywhere. I see it day in, day out, helping dealers in the ZipDeal system manage what personnel we have listed. So I am right now seeing even more changes, not just at the consultant level, but at the management level. So yeah, there seems to be a bit of a season right now, in addition to just the ongoing issue. But ZipDeal, I'll mention, we sit right from the time of the handshake. Yes, we've got a deal, until we get them into finance, right? So that's definitely a point where you, as a dealer, as a sales manager, are hoping that this client that just said yes is not going to really basically drop in the euphoria of, I'm buying a new car while they're waiting to get into finance. So leaving that in the hands of a sales consultant that maybe isn't trained, doesn't, know all the processes of what the dealer expects as far as customer experience in presenting all the other opportunities outside of the single revenue stream. So leaving that to chance is exactly where ZipDeal comes in. So built by a dealer who had the same challenges, patented technology. It does automate and solve, whether it is overworked staffed, brand new staff, just changes happening in the staff, untrained on everything that the dealer would like them to be doing for that new client.
Mm. I've heard you talk about a modern client experience, which I think is what everybody is probably trying to strive for. Obviously, in the digital era, the I guess you could probably call it the era, the almost the Amazon era. It's like there is no delayed gratification. Like people like just can have everything they want, and this very much affects people as they set their expectations around what the experience is going to be like when they, start to walk into a dealership. And really even before that, when they start the whole process of looking for a car, they find the dealer's website or some other place online. But certainly if all of those efforts, which by the way, most of them are not free, the dealer's paying to influence that journey to get them to their dealership. But when they get there, I think that's when the real key parts of this modern client experience start. And you guys clearly have built something that can help a dealer make sure that they deliver on that. I was wondering if you would share a little bit, maybe explain a bit the Zip deals, what you think about that in terms of the modern client experience.
Yes, definitely. And it is not just that sale. Like that sale is the start of retention, right? Dependent upon that experience. So it's really not just about the revenue for the dealer right now, this car, but the next car, referrals from them, hopefully service retention from them. And ZipDeal makes it modern primarily. I'd say the first thing that I always am so proud of with the ease that ZipDeal allows the dealers to customize it to their clientele, to their strategic objectives, to their brand. You can pick and choose multitudes of components so that your client experience is really tailored to your demographic and tailored to expose them to all of your opportunities for revenue outside just that front back gross, everything that goes along with it, including customer experience, loyalty, retention. um, I I don't know any other automotive product where you can really decide what it does for you and very quickly and easily. Our website will show you exactly how quickly you could build your own experience. It actually allows you to do that. You can go in and pick and choose and place the modules and get a real experience. So I invite everyone definitely to check out the website and see a visual of what we're discussing today.
Yeah, make sure you go to zipdeal.com. It's pretty easy to get there if you can spell zip and deal.
Deal.
And if you can put those two words together on a .com URL, you are cooking with peanut oil, I think, as the Duck Dynasty guys used to say.
The other
So,
the other
yeah.
part of that modern thing, Sean, if I could add there, is not just the customization, but it is adaptive. So based on what they're buying, new, used, how they're buying, finance, lease, what language you want it presented in, it all is quickly and intuitively adapting the path of what the client experiences. So we just said
Mm.
it's a consistent experience, but it's a tailored, consistent experience based on who and what they're buying and how they're buying it. And the dealer controls all of that.
Yeah, dealers always love to have control over things like this. This is a great part of their business, their workflow, the process, things that are happening every single day repeatedly in the dealership. But the fact that they get to have control in this is huge. You said something there that I also think that I want to make sure that the audience picks up on is this is not just customizable for the needs and the purposes of that store, which could be things driven by whatever the brand is. Maybe it's a Honda store. And to a Honda store, there may be things that need to be part of that process that are very particular to that brand. But you also said something that can be customized based on, well, the demographics around that particular area. So where is that Honda store? And what's popular in the community? What are things like there are definitely towns all across America that have people that live in them, and there are certain things that are kind of the key markers and the identifiers about those communities and the people that live there that also can be fed into, hey, we want to be able to customize something that is tailored to making sure that the
Mhm.
customers feel like it's for them as well. And I think that's a really powerful thing to realize is that customization is very much in control from the dealer side, but meant to be this kind of big tent of initiatives and matters of importance from both the business as well as the people in the community that they want to provide these experiences to. And I think that's powerful.
Yeah, so certain sections of the country, very large volume for EV vehicles. So there are different things that we provide in the less than 10 minutes that it takes them to do the zip deal, as well as the text notifications we provide to them with links to things like an EV charging guide. Or if you are a big truck dealer, there may be certain accessories. OEM, non-OEM that you really want to highlight. So it's not canned, everybody sees the same accessories or gets the same text notification with links to just one OEM site. Maybe there's an additional one, like you said, based on the brand
Yeah.
that dealer is specific just for maybe even that model of vehicle.
hmm Yeah, I think it's very, very powerful. As if it wasn't already a really great tool. What it does, how it does, and why it does it, I think it's really, really critical for dealers to understand. So let me ask you about this. How does ZipDeal ensure that even with an undertrained or overworked teams, both of those scenarios happen a lot, it's common, um, how every customer still can get the same professional, revenue-focused experience?
Mhm. If you're not familiar, ZipDeal is a internet-based tool that's delivered to the client's cell phone. So they're going to open a link and they're going to have this experience, which consists of video shorts. It consists of surveys, questions and answers, all designed to let the client choose their delivery preferences, provide exposure to all of the F&I products in a very modern, almost TikTok video style. So it's a combination, very fluid, 8 minutes on average, where they're going to see what you offer. They're going to provide some input on their preferences. This also gets passed along to F&I managers in answers to their survey questions that they can build rapport by confirming their answers and being ready with their menu when they come in, all tailored to them. But I think that depending on a brand new hire or your best salesperson who's super busy and it's a revolving door of their customers, to every single time show them accessories, set the first service appointment, get the OEM app set up. Like I can think of 6 things alone that ZipDeal relieves the sales consultant of even knowing how to do, like training not needed. So that's the um, automation side of it that takes out all the opportunities of chance of leaving money on the table by skipping any one of those opportunities.
I love that. Makes me want to ask this next question, which is how do you guys help the dealer capture all of these opportunities for maximizing profit potential and also the long-term customer loyalty, both of which are really, really, I think maybe loyalty is more important than ever these days. But
Yeah.
how does ZipDeal help dealers make sure they're capturing those two elements?
The content that the dealer chooses, like we said, is completely up to them. But I don't think I have dealers that ever say, no, I don't want a first service appointment. Even when we don't know exactly when the vehicle's due, no, let's get a placeholder on there. Our service team will follow up. So their boom is retention for fixed ops, which we know leads to future car buying as well.
hmm
Um, the preview, just F&I video shorts. Everyone likes to sell themselves versus being sold. We're just going to give them a little snippet of, oh yeah, I do really want that interior, exterior protection this time, or whatever it may be, lease wear and tear. Um, Accessories, we know they are not offering them, so we do. The OEM app asking for online reviews, asking for referrals, all of those are baked in such a way that it happens very quickly and organically, but completely designed for the benefit of the client. Nothing is presented like we want to sell you more. It's like, if you're interested or if this fits your needs, let me just show you real quickly and we're going to keep moving you along. This is going to speed up the rest of your purchase process.
hmm Yeah, I think the fact that you allow the what would you call that? The kind of choose your own journey method, where people are guiding their own path through a process that's happening anyway, but now they're more informed. Now they have, I've said this in conversations with you, with Steve, um, about ZipDeal. The last vehicle that I bought is a perfect example of a dealer that would have made thousands of dollars more on my sales experience because I told them when I was buying it exactly what I was going to do to this truck. And even in telling them that without ZipDeal, they didn't say, well, hey, we can help you with this in terms of accessories and what I wanted to do. If they had ZipDeal and they had built modules for that, for somebody who's like Tundra crazy, all of those things would have been presented as options. Not only would they have gotten that business, they would have, if they would have done a good job, which they did a great job in the sales experience, um, it keys into what you're talking about around retention. Like I probably would have gone further out of my way to try to go to them for service or for major service. But I go to a Toyota dealer for service that's much closer to my house, um, for those reasons. And I think dealers need to think about, making sure that you do something like zip deals. Like you're not going to miss anything. Some of those things may be the anchors that help that retention so that they come back. And if they keep coming back into service, then the chances that they're now going to buy more vehicles from you goes up. And the chances that that influence goes into their family and friends and what experiences they're having, like these things are related and important.
Yeah, the
Um,
more opportunities you give them, the more yeses you're going to get. If
mm,
you limit how many things they can say yes to, then yes, you're not going to increase revenue from these. And they're not peripheral extras. They're crucial, right? F&I
yeah.
penetration is crucial.
Mhm.
Everything that adds to the bottom line right now is crucial. It's not, oh, that would be nice if we sold accessories. No, we need to.
So true. Very well said. Do you have like results, any performance like related results or a story that whatever you might be comfortable sharing with the audience, like that maybe would speak to back end gross profit?
Sure, sure. So ZipDeal is initiated for the client via an integration with the dealer's DMS. So we are receiving the booked and finalized deals, and that makes it super simple, literally in less than a minute, for the sales consultant to send that zip deal to the client's cell phone. From that integrated data, we can also see gross profits, typically depending on which DMS they have. And just for August alone, just last month, the clients that were presented with the opportunity to go through ZipDeal versus the clients that weren't was a difference of $742 in just the back end gross. So that's not seeing all the other avenues.
Mm,
Yes. Now on the low end, we have, dealers that are at all different levels, scales, volume, was $240. So any of that, take the 240 times 100 deals that month, adds up pretty quickly. Yes.
what is NADA's current average cost per vehicle sold? Isn't it around $700 now or something? I
So
think it is.
there you
It's
go.
crazy. Like that's feels like such a high number in the age that we're living in. But I think it is really $600 or $700. I haven't looked in a while. But when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness. Like $724 is probably just covers the entire cost that you spent trying to get that car sold.
Right.
And now on top of this, so it very interesting. I think that's a point that dealers probably should be considering is it's not just that. Like you said, that's just one measurement. And it would change the thinking, I think, of about every single dealer principal, at least the ones that are active that, work in the store a lot, but certainly general managers and GSMs. I think that would light up the room for the parts department. So that's pretty cool. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about service retention. I just kind of mentioned that in my own little Tundra story. So let's talk service retention and accessories or referrals? What can you share with me
I
on
mean,
those
all
areas?
of them, I can tell you for getting the first service appointment set, we average right around 92% are
Wow.
putting something on the books. And then the advisors, the BDC can reach out well in advance, adjust that if the car's not ready or it's not a convenient time, but we are getting it on the books 92% of the time. Accessories, we average between 20 and 25% of the clients going through are picking 2.5. Some only pick one, but those are our averages on accessory selections. And I think the per copy average is 800 in the industry for accessories. So again, even if it's 10% of your clients selecting and it's an $800 ticket, we'll take that, right?
Yeah.
The referrals on the high end, larger volume dealers average right around 15 referrals a month.
Mm.
Um, Maybe the 100 unit dealers are right around five, but we know the closing ratio on those and typically goes hand in hand with the higher closing ratios, higher grosses on referrals as well. So you already have that trust all baked in. And again, we make it super simple. Just tell us if there's anybody you know, name, cell phone, email, pass that right along to the sales consultant, sales manager, BDC for the follow up.
That's so impressive. It makes so many little processes and steps. It simplifies a lot of things at the same time as driving real value, increasing profitability, efficiency in probably the most delicate part of the experience with the customer. Like it just one after another checks so many boxes. What improvements have dealers seen from your experience? And you get a lot of this experience yourself, but what improvements have dealers seen in service retention, accessory sales, and maybe this referral generation after implementing those? Because those numbers are great. Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one more I'd like to add, a really recent example is we know the power of online reviews. We know how prospects are looking at reviews to determine where they're going to shop and potentially buy. So, my favorite example that happened just this month, um, like a lot of things that we switch out to a dealer's strategic objective, within 2 weeks, we had a dealer that was struggling on one review site and doing very well on another. We send a notification as they go through ZipDeal. Hey, if we've done a great job, we'll make it easy. Here's a link to our Google business page. This dealer had great Google business reviews, but didn't because they had a lower number on Dealer Rater. So they said, hey, can you switch out and direct them to Dealer Rater for us instead of Google? Absolutely. That took a minute. So the next client's going through, they're getting the link to Dealer Rater. In 2 weeks, they received 15 five-star reviews, bumping their score up 4 points in 2 weeks.
Mm.
I just, it makes my job so easy to be able to say, yes, I can make that change very quickly and then deliver those kind of results. It's just very exciting. And then, of course, I have the opportunity to check all my other dealers' review sites and see where I might be able to help them as well. Share that wealth and say, I've got a great example here. You want to give it a try? Looks like this one site you might need a little help on.
Mm. And not for nothing, being able to affect a major platform for reviewing dealers that quickly is huge. I don't know anybody that makes a purchase that costs more than, if it's over maybe $10, people are like, is there a review about this? Right.
I sure do.
That's
I check
also,
them all the time.
yeah, that's part of the world that we all live in now. And it really matters, because I think that if you sleep on that, you become a little bit complacent in earning it. You do have to earn that reputation.
Mhm.
And this dealer, the example you just gave, they already had that locked up in a maybe a really easier way for them to make sure it was captured within the Google environment. But that's not the only place where people can go and review dealers. So like I love that you shared that story. If I'm a dealer principal listening or watching right now, What does complete control over the customer experience look like in real terms?
The complete control is, I think, also peace of mind. Nothing's going to get skipped. This zip deal will consistently be automated and contain asking for first service appointment, showing them an accessory selection, giving them an F&I survey to make that process faster for the menu presentation, showing them a couple of video product shorts for finance products, maybe even an intro into service. It's going to happen every single time. It's automated. So there's nothing to chance. There's no despite staff challenges, maybe it's a big volume month or a low volume month, whatever's going on the floor, the zip deal is consistent and automated.
Mm. I think consistency is something that every dealer principal would like a whole lot more of.
Control over every delivery. Finally. Thank you,
Yeah,
zip deal.
sign me up. Well, okay. So next thing I want to ask you about is personalizing the presentation and how you guys do this to reflect a dealership's unique, they're all kind of unique, even same brand, how you reflect their brand while making the process standardized.
Sure. Well, I mean, it can be as organic as the dealer himself or one of the managers, the service director. They cut their own videos. So we have dealer produced content. Everyone likes to see that dealer. Maybe they only see them on the commercials, but now they're sitting in the store buying a car from them. And here is a personalized video with the dealer genuinely, authentically thanking them. Maybe they haven't been in for service before, and the service director introduces themselves and in a 35-second video shows them this is where you come in for express. This is over here, our parts showcase. Gives them a quick walk around. So very, very personalized. Sometimes I even have finance managers that will, they themselves, very quickly, succinctly talk about what is in lease wear and tear coverage, what is GAP all about, vehicle service contracts. So when the client walks into finance, they're like, oh, hey, you're Bob from the video. Like there's already that rapport. So it's
Mhm.
very customized that way, but also I think differentiates that dealer. We know competition can be fierce, definitely certain demographics, certain metros. When the client gets that first hand experience where they're actually seeing, they almost feel connected to the dealer by what they're providing, and certainly differentiated by they haven't done this before. They haven't got to choose what they really want to focus on for their final delivery walk around, or just knowing that somebody will reach out to make sure this first service appointment is still convenient for them. There's just a great amount of opportunity for the dealer to elevate their experience for that client. And then that, of course, leads to bringing them back.
You just said something that is a grand slam. Like every dealer should be trying to differentiate themselves, even from their brothers and sisters of same brand if they're in a big metro, and let's say there's 10 of you or more. ZipDeal is literally instant differentiation, so much that you could actually put it as part of your why buy from us. Because the dealer that has it versus the dealer that doesn't have it is giving their customers a completely different experience, better experience.
Yes.
And when you're thinking about it, I mean, I love that answer because it immediately made me think, and yeah, we're car people. You and I are car people. So, of course, I'm probably going to get that pretty quickly. But we talk a lot about zip deal and all these different points of value. That's actually really significant. A dealer could market themselves around, well, if you do end up buying a vehicle from us, you will find out that this is how this process works. There's a way, I think, to actually tie that into the way that they present themselves and differentiate themselves against their competitors. So that's huge. That's a grand slam, Marlo. It's huge.
And we are kind of speaking in terms of, dealer by dealer, because that's who I interact with constantly, but also on the enterprise side for groups. Think about the challenge for a large group, 50, 60 stores, to control that experience across multiple states, multiple brands. Um, I don't know how you could possibly try and ensure that without knowing each client is seeing the same thing each and every time. So
Mm.
whether you have 5 consultants at your store, 50 consultants at your large group over, several rooftops, it all works the same. And it
Mm.
is, like we said before, I think the genius of it is how simple it is.
Mm.
I mean, it's just a combination of questions, videos, different ways for the client to speak up and give their preferences in a very short 8-minute span of time. That is
Mhm.
typically a time where they're sitting and the potential for additional revenue is waning, not increasing.
Yeah. Wow, I just love that. Well, that's a good segue for me to ask whether you're a single point store or maybe you're a small group or a big group, how does ZipDeal help dealers track the opportunities that are presented versus accepted? Is there a way that general managers would be able to utilize data like that?
Definitely in individual real time scenarios, so case by case, for example, to start with, we have a quick, I call it CSI Saver 5-star check. So, not the online review, but just how are we doing in store here so far? And anything less than 5 stars in real time, the minute they hit 4 stars or less, leave a comment, maybe don't leave a comment. We're going to text your desk manager, any other managers you'd like, so that they have the opportunity to resolve whatever the issue may be in the moment before they even go into finance. So things happening, notifications for exposure, what's going on with that client in real time. Same with accessories. These are the accessories they would like. This is what they want you to focus on when you do your final walk around, going out to the sales consultant in real time. Even parts and service directors can get a notification only when an accessory is selected to give them a heads up. The portal that we have, a dashboard portal, we know dealers love to log into dashboards. That is absolutely available. You can see individually the results from the client going through, but you can also see an aggregate. So if you had a marketing survey, you can see very quickly over the past month, over the past quarter, year, what are the answers coming in to help you with maybe your media buys or even maybe training opportunities. Maybe they're answering if you've asked some CSI type questions, did you feel any pressure today? Those can be seen in aggregate on the dashboard. And we even have automated reporting. So you're at 100 cars this month, you've done 90 zip deals. Whoop, where's the other 10?
Mm.
So, yes, we make it very simple to see how the team is performing, to see how the results are coming in from each and every zip deal. And also, I want to say too, the onboarding itself, extremely simple. Couple of weeks up and running. We need like a personnel list, the authorization to integrate with your DMS, and training literally is done in about 20 minutes. So we're not taking the team off the floor for a half a day or all day. It is very quick. Here's what ZipDeal does, and this is how you do it. Super simple.
That's also very important. A lot of dealers are presented with things that uh, they're certainly not off and running in 20 or 30 minutes. It's days and days of training through a bunch of people who don't want to be trained. Yeah, that's
And
very, very,
yeah, and they're
yeah,
going to forget the training anyhow. If it's not
yes,
really intuitive and easy for them,
yeah,
we're talking type in the deal number. We're going to pull up customer and vehicle information, make sure that cell phone's right because you're going to hit a button and they're going to get a text message and start the zip deal.
yeah. It's simplicity is key in a lot of things. It's something that gets overlooked far too often, especially when you're working with dealers. Like they're looking for people to take something off the plate or make something that's on the plate more simplified, make it easy, help me, solve a problem. So yeah, I love that. It's good stuff. A couple of last things I want to ask before we put this one in a parking spot. One is, can you share a story or maybe a success metric that really shows the power of this zip deal experience?
Hmm. I mean, Definitely, like I mentioned, just in the 2 week period of the Google reviews, amazing. A 4 point swing. I think that's probably my most recent favorite, but a different one I think would be a dealer getting creative with their accessory selections, what we are presenting. So we don't show pricing or any details like that, just pretty picture, name of it. Are you interested? You want some more info? Thumbs up. And this dealer thought outside the box. And besides the OEM items that he really wanted to present and sell, thought, I really also want to do window tint. I really
Mm,
also want to do some bumper and grill guards for all those trucks I sell. And seeing the window tint become the number one selected accessory in almost no time, like,
mhm.
what a no-brainer. Again, like, how easy would it be for the sales consultant to say, I'm sure, we're in this hot state, this sunny state, you want window tint, right? But they don't. So we put it into the accessory selection and boom, number one. So that's another one of my favorites. Very quick,
Love that.
very
Super
easy.
smart. Super, super smart. Okay, so if someone's consuming this content, if they were to remember just one thing from this conversation, what do you think it should be?
I think it should be that all of the things we've talked about, again, are not extras. They're not nice to haves. They are part of your revenue stream. And that's what ZipDeal does, is help you capture that revenue stream that is vital and critical to long-term profit and retention.
Mm, mm. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for this session of ZipDeal Conversations. A big thanks, Marlo. I always appreciate these conversations. It certainly edifies me. I love learning more about and sharpening even my own knowledge about ZipDeal. So we appreciate you dropping this insight, a lot of actionable insights on this in this conversation. And it helps, I think, dealers see how they can take control of this customer experience, this modern customer experience that everyone's been talking about and dealers have been striving for actually several years now. And we are very much in that instant gratification era where it does matter. I love that you guys are doing what you're doing. Marlo even laid it out. Even if your team's not running at full sprint, right? Even if you're undertrained, if you're over, exhausting your people, that's a real issue as well. So you need to think about it if you're one of those people considering, where does ZipDeal fit? Probably fits in a lot of places, and you shouldn't hesitate to learn more about it. If you're a dealer, if you're a general manager or GSM, and you're thinking, hey, we really could be doing more with every single sale, and you could be, and you know it. You're not alone, though. And most importantly, you don't have to try to fix this problem all by yourself. This is ZipDeal. So we already mentioned it earlier in this conversation. Go to zipdeal.com. Super easy to get there. If you're ready for them to walk you through a demo, you can. As Marlo said, I know they've made some recent improvements even to their own website. You can go there and actually do a whole lot of self-guided journey, like hiking around on that website until you're ready to talk to them. Go do that. And they'll show you exactly how those things work, how you lock in this profit and you boost your retention, which is super important. And every dealer knows that. Give every customer the kind of experience that they're expecting. And this will build more loyalty, which most dealers need a little help in earning that loyalty. And it's worth it. So until next time, to the audience, thanks for listening. And we'll see you again real soon. Thanks, Marlo.
Thanks, Sean.